Everyone, as I'd like to welcome you to the IAC Acoustics HVAC Virtual Tool webinar. My name is Darren Riley, and today we're going to spend 20 to 30 minutes roughly talking about our HVAC virtual cloud-based web tool for silencers and louvers. Each of you should be able to clearly hear what I am saying without any crosstalk from any other attendees. All of the audience connections are muted for today. I am with IAC, a division of SoundSeal, and I've been involved with noise control and HVAC since 2008, working as an applications engineer for vibration isolation, HVAC and seismic, and as a vibration noise control product engineering and manager. I currently assist IAC Acoustics customers by helping them understand how to use, apply, and specify our HVAC products for noise control and attenuation performance applications. Please take a moment to write down my name, contact information, and again, if you have any questions or need assistance at some point after the webinar, shoot me an email, give me a call. I'll be glad to help you out. Today, again, we're going to have a tutorial over the IAC HVAC virtual tool. It's the engineering version showing how to navigate and use this excellent cloud-based tool that IAC has. There is also a rep-based version, which includes pricing. The IAC Virtual is a cloud-based sales and engineering tool for all of our HVAC products. The tool simplifies the process for identifying compatible products through modest customer input. It is a robust software with an automatic calculation of product performance built in based on user-identified operating conditions. So let's take a look. To find the virtual tool link, simply you're need to go to the website. That here is at the top of our website. Click on the IAC virtual tool link, and it'll bring you to this page here. Once you are able to open up the virtual tool, if you have not yet signed up, simply click on sign up, fill out the information here below, and again, click sign up, and I will get an email, and it will be reviewed and approved up to 24 hours. Once you're able to actually get inside and see the virtual tool, you will then see your home page. So from here, let me go ahead and log in. See my Yahoo email there. But on here, again, you're going to see your home page. And when you're on your home page, you will see different jobs that are going to be listed. As you create jobs, you'll see them broken out here. It'll actually say what the job is, the date that it's created, your quote number, who it's for, the address, your name and email, and whether it's an industrial application or so forth, and we'll see that here in just a few minutes. What is really nice is the information, once you get ready to create a new project, you're going to click on the orange button up there in the top right-hand corner. That's basically pulsating, saying create a project, and this is what you'll see. Simply fill out this information, click on create project, and once you do, you're going to come to a page that looks just like this. So simply put, the yellow box is the information you just entered in. If you need to edit this information at any given time, you can do so. Simply click edit. Let's go ahead and change this from an industrial application to say commercial, and then hit save. And so there you have it. From here, simply there are two areas that you can add in the HVAC products, either under silencers, SL, or louvers, LV. And you see that there's the blue pulsating button with a plus sign in it there as well, telling you that you are ready to add either silencers and or louvers. So with this, let's go ahead and start, and let's add in some silencers. There are a few different ways that you can actually put silencers into this program. The first way is what I would like to actually say is the quick select model selection. And under this one here, It is, if it is known that it is an IAC silencer, say either the engineer has requested it of you or is actually scheduled an IAC silencer on the actual silencer schedule pages in and on the drawings. Simply put, you can click on this bar here and you can see that all of our silencers are now located here. We start off with our commercial grade series, which is again the most popular ones that you're going to be dealing with. Then so forth on down the line, we have the hospital grade, our quiet duct clean flow series. Again, the H stands for hospital grade. That incorporates the polyethylene liner and the standoff in with the silencer. You then have the ultra green type silencers that has the anti-mold, anti-mildew, antifungal type infill. It is not fiberglass. It is actually 100% environmental cotton, kind of like the jean material that we have, that we wear. Then we have our ultra low grade. We have our packless, our tubular packless, our elbows, and our conics. And you see here too, we even now have our ultra green conics. Again, without fiberglass, it has the, again, environmental type fill. From here, let's say, for example, tag SA-1 is scheduled on the drawings as an MS type silencer. So simply put, you're going to click the MS. Let's label this one SA-1, and you'll see that we can even make a different quantity. So let's go ahead and make this a quantity of 3. Here you're going to see the type, geometry, and casing are all grayed out. This here signifies that it is actually already an MS silencer, which comes with a standard type silencer. It is a rectangular type casing, and it has a standard casing. What I mean by that is this. Casing standard is 22 gauge construction. Perforated standard is 26 gauge. If you need to change these for any reason whatsoever, if an engineer has signified that he wants 22 or 18 gauge perf, you have the ability to actually upgrade that as well, and it will price everything accordingly and also then design everything accordingly to what you have selected. For this case, we'll go ahead and leave everything at 22 gauge casing, 26 gauge perf. On this one here, let's go ahead and make this a 42 by 24 by 84 in our length. And let's say we want 7,000 CFM and see it automatically calculated the feet per minute. And let's go ahead and make this a 0.2, 0 pressure drop. And let's take this one step further. Let's make this a reverse flow. So you see it changed it to a negative. So forward leaves it as a positive number. Reverse flow makes it a negative number. From here, you can see that this red button that was up here is now turned green. It is actually telling you and prompting you to search. From here, there is really no need to put in any type of dynamic insertion loss requirements because, again, this is going to be based off of the test data and the catalog data for a 42 by 24 by 84 length MS IAC silencer. Just simply hit your search button, and there you go. You can see that, again, feet per minute is a reverse flow at a -1,000. It has a 42 by 24, 7 MS, signifies 84 inches in length. And here is your standard dynamic insertion loss information. You can also see that the pressure drop, instead of being black, is green. This signifies, and I kind of want to go this here real quick with you, is that a pressure drop color code legend. Green signifies it meets or it is better than the required pressure drop. Blue is within the acceptable range, and red falls outside the required pressure drop. So here you can see that we actually beat it. So in order to lock this silencer in, simply hover over top of it. You can see it turns orange. Click it, left click it, and it locks it in place. Come down to the blue button, add that to your silencer, to your portfolio, and let's view all products. I typically like to view all products just to make sure the silencer or louver was entered in. And from here, you can double check yourself. You can, over here, you can hover over top of the end of the actual line of your silencer here, and you can see that you can clone this one, you can edit, you can delete it, and you can view. You can view what you just entered in for the silencer. Simply click the X to close that, and when you're ready to enter more, click Add More Silencers. The second way of entering in a silencer is, let's say the schedule has no one listed. doesn't have IAC. It has none of our competitors listed. It is simply what the engineer has selected based upon, his results for the different pieces of equipment. Here, do not click on the quick model selection, this orange line. Simply leave it there. Let's label this one tag SA-2. And from here, you can see that this does not gray out now because it's prompting you. You need to add in the information for this typical silencer. So here we can see that we have standard, ultra green, hospital, packless, ultra low, all. So from here, let's go ahead and say we want to make this one an ultra green. And we want to keep it a rectangular. It is going to stay a standard casing, 22 gauge, 26 gauge perf. And let's go ahead and make this one here. Let's go a 36 by 36 by 60 inch. And let's label this one at 5,000 CFM. And from here, let's go ahead and select, say, 0.15 pressure drop. Now, taking this one step further, we didn't have to worry about the dynamic insertion loss last time because it pulled from the database for the MS silencer. And here we don't know exactly what silencer to select just yet. So if the engineer has done his due diligence and has created the actual tables on the schedule, on the drawings, we can enter those in here accordingly and see which silencer is actually going to best be selected for this application. As you can see, I'm tabbing through here. You can take your mouse, you can click on it, or you can simply just tab through. Either which way, I kind of tend to use both. So let's take this again. For our one step further, we can add in the dynamic insertion loss. And here we'll go ahead and let's label 5, then we'll go 12, then we'll go 20, we'll go 38, let's go 42, then we'll go 23, 17, and good old 10. Now from here, still don't see any listings yet. We're being prompted to search. So from here, let's go ahead and search and see what comes up. As you can see, we have a multiple array of different silencers of our ultra green, keeping with the family class of the LFL, LFM, and so forth down to the S. UG meaning ultra green. And from here, we can see that some of these numbers here are green, blue, or red. Same type of color code designation for the dynamic insertion loss. Green meets or exceeds the required DIL. Blue in the acceptable range within ASHRAE and SMACNA, and red falls outside the actual requirements. So we can see that we actually have a couple different silencers that are close. This one actually is working. We're at again, remember, you can actually go up to a 0.05, and we're at right here 0.05. So we're at 0.19, 0.15. So we're still within the acceptable range for this one, UGLFS. But what really works well is these numbers are higher. These numbers are actually pretty high as well, and we have even lower pressure drop here. So for this purpose, we'll go ahead and select the 5UGS, add the silencer, view our products to make sure everything has been added correctly to our portfolio, and it has. Let's add another one. Let's say, for example, you have a large silencer, and what I mean by that is that industry standard, not something that is set in stone by IAC Acoustics, but industry standard. That means everybody, all of our competitors and so forth. 48 inches is the max requirement dimension that you can have in the width and or in the height or in both. So if you need to have something that is greater than 48 inches in the width and or in the height, simply put, it's going to be made out of 2, 3, possibly 4, just depends, individual silencer modulars to make up the one large required silencer. So in this example, let's label this one SA-3, and we will label this one as standard, rectangular. We'll keep a standard casing. And for the width, let's put in 60. For the height, let's do another 60, and you'll see that a pop-up note shows. And this one here is what we have done is taken the guesswork out of the equation. You can make this out of, again, multiple arrays of 30 by 30, 20 by 20, 10 by 10, 15 by 15, however you want to make this up, you can. But what we've kind of done is taken this I guess, again, the guessing game out of this, what you want to make this out of. And we try to maximize performance, at the same time minimize how many modulars are going to be needed in order to make up the large silencer. For this example, it's 4 individual silencer modulars, 30 wide by 30 tall, so you're going to have 2 of them nested side by side, 2 of them stacked on top of each other. Let's go ahead and make this 60 inches here as well, and let's take this at 12,000 CFM. See, again, it calculates appropriately for the actual larger size, not for the individual size for the feet per minute, but it is calculated off of the larger size, feet per minute here. And let's go ahead and say we want to have a 0.13 pressure drop. From here, again, we do not know which actually model is going to be selected, so we can actually, let's go ahead and search our silencer here and see which ones that is going to fit this circumstance the best. And from here, you can see that we have almost every one of these is working. Actually, all of these are working. Once I find and I have this excellent solution, I'm going to pick the highest insertion loss in accordance with the lowest pressure drop. So from here, I can see that the 5 ml is a 0.01. Pretty good. This is 0.03. Very good. Again, insertion loss up. And once you get around the 250 to 500, and this one here too is a little bit lower. On this one here, I probably would actually pick the MS silencer just because the overall, you're looking at a 4 and a 4, a 9, a 7, 17, a 14, and so forth. So here you have pretty good insertion loss numbers, higher the better, and lower pressure drop, lower the better for pressure drop. So I'm going to select the 5 MS, add this to my portfolio. Let's view it, make sure everything is still there. It is, and you'll see this. Is once you enter in a large silencer, there's a blue box over here that says L. The blue box with the white L inside here, again, signifies this is a large silencer being made out of individual silencer modulars. And again, we can view this to see it. Simply put, there it is. The dimensions for the large silencer are here. It is unfolded into 4 of these individual silencers, 30 by 30, to make up the total 60 by 60 silencer. All your performance, again, is a derivative of the large dimensions, not the smaller. Let's forge on. Let's add another silencer here. On this one here, you've probably seen here competitor reference. This one here, we kind of have a little bit of a nice mock-up of some of our competitors. So let's label this one SA-4. And before we do anything else, simply put, come over here and you're going to put in your tag, your quantity, and your manufacturer. Let's go ahead and use Vibroacoustics for this example, and click on the model here. Let's kind of use let's use the RD-HV-UHV model, and automatically you see that this information grays out. So we've already established the SA4 is going to be a standard type, geometry rectangular, and a standard casing based upon the information that we have. And on here, let's go ahead and make this a 24 by 24 by 60. Let's make this 3,000 CFM. And now we are ready to see what the IAC equal is to the Vibroacoustics RD-HV/UHV. Click the search button. There you go. The 5L, 24 by 24 by 60, is the equal to the Vibroacoustics RD-HV/UHV. Now, let's say, for example, you did have this information on the schedule here as well. You could simply put in the pressure drop that the engineer has calculated, and also the dynamic insertion loss requirements too. And you can, even streamline this a little bit more and see exactly where these numbers fall in accordance with the RD-HV/UHV Vibroacoustic selection. From here, let's select this model, add this one to our portfolio, view, just to make sure it is there. It is. And let's add 2 more silencers. From here, we're going to kind of add in some different geometry shapes. And just like with the selection of the silencers, if you know the letter or what it starts with, let's say you wanted to add in the elbow, go up here, type in E, and you can see that the ES model pulls up and the ELBM pulls up. I'm kind of taking some guessing game out of it here as well. And again, that way you don't have to scroll all the way up and down to try to find the certain silencer that you need. From here, click ELBM. Let's label this one SA-5. Now, here you have the baffle configuration. You can click on this. You can select the baffle configuration if you know it's the LFS or the MS, the ML, the S, LFS, LFM, just kind of, if you know that. I typically do not like to click on this. We have it here in case you do. I like to let the program show me all of them. That way I can select maybe one that could be better than what has already been deemed necessary. From here, you can put in your width and height, and the length actually is the centerline length on an elbow. So from here, let's go ahead and put in a 30 by 36, and your centerline length, other than like silencers, can really be any length needed. You can make this 200, you can make it 50. I will say this, that the centerline length, this length must create the leg lengths at least 6 inches or more greater than your width. So the leg lengths must be at least 36 inches or more in order for a proper turning vane to perform accordingly and provide good attenuation and airflow through here. So for this example, let's use an odd length. Let's go 108, and automatically populate 69 inches in your leg lengths. We're good to go here. So again, leg 1 and leg 2 will both be 69 inches. And here, let's go ahead and use, let's go 5,500 CFM. Automatically, again, calculates your feet per minute. That's grayed out, so you cannot change that. Let's go ahead and make this a 0.25 pressure drop. There's a little bit more pressure drop on elbows, so let's kind of see what happens here. Bam. We have some pretty good model selection. We see that the LFS is actually outside of the pressure drop requirement, so it's red. All these other ones are within green, so they're well below the actual 0.25 requirement. On this one here, the LFM and the LFL seem pretty good, but what I like is the LFL. Starts out a little bit lower here, but your numbers get bigger as you go, so I kind of like to be able to use the LFL. I'm going to hover over top of that, click that one, lock it in place, add this silencer to our portfolio, view it to make sure everything is there. It is. Now, I will say this, to view this, I want to kind of go over something here too. You notice that under standard type silencers here, the casing is 22 gauge and the periphery is 26. That's standard for all type rectangle type silencers. For elbows, it automatically changes to the standard casing of 18 gauge and standard perforated material at 22 gauge. So that will automatically do that. We've set that as a preset preamble for you. That way, again, just less you have to click, the better. Let's add one more silencer. Let's add our SA-6, and we were talking about different geometry shapes. This one here, let's add a conic. Like I said, you can simply type in what you need if you know the actual type of silencer. So from here, we're going to type in FCL, and we see the FCL type conic and the ultra green FCL. Click on the FCL. Let's label this one SA-6. Now, on all of our conics, when you put in your diameter, it's going to automatically give you your length. So for this one, let's say, let's use 24 inches and tab, and it automatically populates 48. On our conics, all of our testing criteria, all of our data, our catalogs are going to be, the length is always going to be 2 times the diameter. So if this was 30 inches in diameter, 60-inch length. 36 inches in diameter, 72-inch length, and so forth. If you need to have something that's modified at 1 times length by 1 times the diameter, if you need to have a 24-inch diameter and a 24-inch length conic, we can do that. That becomes a little bit of some modifications, but with IAC, we have the ability to do that. Contact me via email, and I can do these for you. From here, let's go ahead and let's put in 7,500 for our CFM. And again, you saw that this is already preempted right here. Let's go ahead and search. And from here, we see 24 inches in diameter, length 48. Here is your dynamic insertion loss numbers, your feet per minute, your forward pressure drop, 0.07, hover over top of this, add that to your mix, view your portfolio, and let's say, for example, you forgot that on the SA-1 to add in polyethylene liner. Go back, click Edit. Up here where it says acoustic film lining, click the drop-down arrow, click on polyethylene liner. It will automatically add that to it. Click Save. And you can see right there it is. If you need to have something that is, say the SA-4, we actually forgot, and you notice that this had to be 304 stainless steel. Casing construction, different gauges, even HTL casing we can do. But under the construction material, you've forgotten, oh, wait a minute, I need to make this 304 stainless steel. You can do that. Simply go to the drop-down arrow, click on 304 stainless steel, and a note is going to pop up. So for 304 stainless steel construction, please email me. What this is basically signifying is that if you should need costing on a 304 stainless steel silencer, email me and I can help you out with that. But this program will allow you to let this continue on and save it. And you can see that this is now going to produce a submittal drawing with material out of 304 stainless steel. So we've now gone through some different arrays of adding in silencers. Let's add in a louver. Kind of show you the program here. It's basically the same philosophy as adding in a silencer, just a little bit different. We have the model selections up here, so you're simply going to have to, you can type in the R, you can type in the LP, again, if you know the signification of what the actual louver is. And through here, let's go ahead and use the model R. Let's label this one SA-7. And here, let's say that the silencer that was 60 by 60 needs to have a louver 60 by 60. So we can see what we can do for a quantity of 1, a width of 60 inches, a height of 60 inches. It will automatically calculate your weight. It'll automatically show you your depth thickness, so you do not have to worry about that. We have that tied to the different louvers. And on here, let's say we need to have 10,000 CFM though, being able to flow through this. See, it automatically calculates the feet per minute. It will automatically be a forward flow direction as well. And let's go ahead and hit search. Gives you your transmission loss here. Instead of dynamic insertion loss, louvers handle transmission loss. So we see that model R, 60 by 60, your transmission loss data, which is right out of our louver brochure. The feet per minute is automatically calculated, forward flow, and here's your pressure drop. Over top of this, add this to our portfolio, and now we can view all items. You can see that silencers folded back. You can unfold it simply by clicking the arrow next to the silencers, the word silencer, and you can see that now we have 6 silencers and 1 louver. From here, you can see that it automatically, for the louvers, it automatically has on burr screen. If you do not need a burr screen, you can use the hand and turn that off. If you need to have powder coating, non-standard color or standard color, Kynar or anodizing, it has the ability to do that. Let's leave powder coating on. And through here with silencers, plastic end caps is automatically on for protection. You can turn that off. I always like to leave it on just for protection. And we also have slip and drive selected here for all of these different silencers. You can select ductmate TDF flanges. You can select 1.5 by 1.5 by 1/8 flange, or you can select none. Let's go ahead and leave slip and drive on for our example here today. So this here, as once you have successfully added all of your tags to your project, now let's take a look at our submittals. There is a purple button up at the top right, and you'll see it has below that print submittal. Click on that. Give it a few minutes here. Sometimes, with a larger job, it might take up to about a minute or so, but it's pretty quick. And you see down here at the bottom left hand, it already has shown the PDF here, so we can click on that and open that up. And you will now see the generated submittals. The first page will be your transmittal page. It'll show you exactly at the top of this page what you initially entered in for the job, and it will be at the very top of every page as well for each submittal. It will also then show you your tags, the product next to it in the next column, and the column next to that will give you a description. So we have a quiet duct commercial series, then we have the ultra green, another commercial series, our elbow, our low frequency conic, our FCL, and then we have our 12-inch noise shield acoustic louver. So from here, let's take a look at our silencers. Remember, we added slip and drive, and here it shows the end connection. So each silencer will have slip and drive. Standard regular type commercial series are going to be built out of 22 gauge casing, 26 gauge perf. This has the media fill of fiberglass. And remember, we actually went back and forgot we needed to add polyethylene. So now we show the media protection of polyethylene liner. So this is tag SA-1 where we had a quantity of 3 of these at 42 by 24 by 84. And then it has your performance information here listed. Our second tag, we made our SA-2, our ultra green silencer. This is our UGS. This one, the media fill, it switched from fiberglass to the 100% natural fibers. Again, dipped in the antifungal, anti-mildew solution. Also, again, has slip and drive. And you can see we've kind of used a generic picture here. The 36 by 36 A and B, and C is always going to be consistent. Whether it unfolds into some different individual modules, which we'll see here soon, it's always going to be 60 inches there. And from here, we can see that the SA-3 is our larger model. Width and height is 60 by 60, but unfolded into 4 individual modulars, 30 by 30. So 2 nested on top and 2 stacked, creating 4 silencers now create 1 large silencer. We also show in our HVAC catalog different ways of being able to tie these 4 together. You can use a nose clip. You can use sheet metal tech screws in order to do that with some caulking material in order to make sure air does not get in between the individual modulars. Again, take a look at our catalog there in the very front. Again, there's different ways in order to actually put these all together. Moving on to SA-4, here is what we had made as our 304 stainless steel casing and perf, matching the vibroacoustic type silencer. Moving on to SA-5 is our ELBM LFL type that we had selected. You can see you have your width and your height, your center line length dimension. Each leg is going to be 69 inches long. Standard casing 18 gauge, standard perforated liner 22 gauge, fiberglass media fill, no media protection, slip and drive on the elbow here as well. Moving on to our conic, our SA-6, our FCL. We do show now different than our catalog, which helps out. A 24-inch ID, a 40-inch OD, and these are 48 inches in length. So the difference between the OD and the ID is 16 inches. So in essence, you're going to have 8 inches of baffle all the way around, creating 16 inches, 8 inches here, 8 inches here. So what we've done is to help out with some installation where some people have kind of ran into some issues. You don't know if you have enough, you know you have 24, but say you have 36, 48, 52, and so forth. You know that this silencer will fit within the 52 area or the 48 because the OD is 40, but if you only have 36 inches in clearance, then you might have to modify the run of ductwork, or you might have to shrink this down, provide a transition on either side back up from the ductwork and back to the ductwork in order to, again, account for an OD of 36 or less. And finally, our tag SA-7. This shows our 12-inch noise shield acoustic louver, our model R. It shows the 60 by 60 by 12 inches in depth, 16 gauge casing, 22 gauge perf. It does have fiberglass infill behind the actual, you're gonna have a solid top piece in front. Behind that, you're gonna have perforated. in order to help out with the flow of air, made out of G90 galvanized material, same as the silencers. This here shows powder coat standard color. And remember, we turned off the birch green. We can go back in and turn that on here and reprint the submittal, and you'll see that this actually does turn yes if you want the birch green on. If you see that, we can do that. So from here, this is, again, an excellent cloud-based tool to help you create schedules, to do silencer performance enhancements, and also louver performance, and also at the same time to create your submittals. To everyone today, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for attending our IAC virtual tool webinar. Hopefully you have enjoyed this and are able to take away some knowledge on how to use our HVAC virtual tool. It has been a pleasure to bring this to you and show you our new IAC HVAC virtual tool and through the webinar. If you need, again, any additional information, you can reach out to either myself or any of the application team here at IAC Acoustics, either again myself or Dan O'Brien, and we will be glad to assist and help out with any questions that you may have. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.